When it was all said and done, the college football playoff, even though a lot of people expected Miami to be the odd man left out, Miami, despite beating Notre Dame, to be the odd man out of the college football playoff, we were all a little bit surprised, and so were the Fighting Irish, when Notre Dame got left out of the college football playoff. And as somebody that has despised Notre Dame my entire life, I couldn't have been happier to see that. I was so excited that Notre Dame dropped below and they missed out on the college football playoff. These fucking losers who think they're better than everybody else and don't need to join a conference, don't actually have to play anybody, didn't have any quality wins on their entire season, to be honest with you. And they lost the head-to-head with Miami. They had some quality losses, but they didn't exactly have any quality wins. And Notre Dame gets left out, and they are pissed. Notre Dame's throwing a tantrum. They're skipping bowl season completely. So they, in order to take a stand, have said, we're not going to participate in any bowls. So all those seniors on that team who thought they'd have one more opportunity to lace them up, to put their helmet on, to go represent this dog shit university, right? Notre Dame goes and says, hey, fuck you. We're going to throw a temper tantrum. We're going to throw a temper tantrum because we're Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Fuck you, Notre Dame. I'm so happy they got left out. I will say this, though. I think the college football playoff got it right in terms of who they put in, but I think the process is completely fucked up. I think the very fact that the week before Notre Dame was ranked ahead of Miami, both of them were idle. None of their common opponents or whatever did anything worth mentioning. Like, because of that, that's where the fucked up part of this is. Miami should have been ranked ahead of them the entire time. I think it's bullshit for the college football playoff to flip them at the end when they realized it would be a problem. And that's just part of the issue with this entire fucking procedure.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, like with James Madison and Tulane. Like, they won their conferences. They're being put into the playoff because you have to have the conference champions in there. So what's the answer to this, leaving Notre Dame out? Are you going to make it a 16 team? Because there's already a rule next year, like, well, that they're proposing. I don't know if anything's finalized, that if Notre Dame finishes in the top 12, they're automatically guaranteed a spot in the playoff. But let's be honest. Notre Dame being in the college football playoff, whether you like them or hate them, it's good for college football. You think Notre Dame being in there instead of James Madison or Tulane is better? Yeah, it is. It is. Because these guys are going to be one and done. And you're trying to turn these organizations around, these universities around at James Madison. It doesn't matter. You get good recruits in there. You get good coaches in there. You're playing good football. But that's just a stepping stool for these people, because these coaches are just going to leave for a better job. The recruits are going to hit the transfer portal and go to a better university. So Notre Dame being in is better for TV ratings, for money, for entertainment. But I agree that Notre Dame should not be in, but also I'm surprised that they weren't put in because of how much of a draw that they have. Because also, they have that NBC deal. ESPN getting Notre Dame on their network is a win. So the fact that they left them out is huge.
I hated the college football playoff committee for the last 6 weeks because they kept having Notre Dame above Alabama, which, hate Alabama all you want. And say, the big argument against Alabama is they lost against FSU to start the season. I fully believe if you schedule week one a hard opponent, especially on the road, you lose, you have an opportunity to correct it. They were the only team in the country that won 4 ranked games in a row and beat Georgia and Georgia. So I feel like they righted that wrong. So it doesn't matter what happened in the SEC championship game. I'll agree they aren't playing their best football right now and they got blown up by Georgia. It's fine. But I was sitting there and I was arguing. I'm like, why is Notre Dame ahead of Alabama? Alabama has such a better resume. They've actually beat ranked opponents other than just USC, like Notre Dame. And then, going into the championship weekend, they flipped them. And I was like, that's the right move. And now I love the football playoff committee because I'm fully convinced they were fucking with Notre Dame the whole time. They were fucking with Notre Dame fans to give them hope, just to yank it away. Because there's no way head-to-head doesn't matter. And people will say, well, Notre Dame only lost by 3 to Miami down there to start the season. if you go back and watch the game, which the committee did, they went back and watched the game. Miami dominated that game. It was not a 3-point game. They pushed Notre Dame around. They beat their ass. And the fact that Notre Dame is being a bunch of crybabies and opting out of their bowl game tells me that they know they're a bunch of frauds and they would probably go get their ass beat by BYU. That's why they're skipping the bowl game.
I think there's a lot of truth to that. And
I think they're protesting more than anything.
They certainly are trying to take this moral grandstand bullshit. But you know what, Notre Dame? You want to know what? If you had joined the ACC like you should have forever ago, like you did in all your other fucking sports, you would probably be in it.
Because you would have won the ACC.
You would have won the fucking ACC.
Tulane gets to sit there and say, we beat the ACC conference champ. They beat Duke this year. So it's like, that could have been you, Notre Dame. You could have just won the ACC and you're in.
I'm kind of with Jim Maloney here. I think that bowl games now with the college football playoff, bowl games are kind of meaningless now.
I mean, no more or less meaningless than they've always been. To be honest with you.
But
now, you're right. Look, in the same way that conference championships don't matter as much because you used to need to win the Big Ten to go to the fucking Rose Bowl, right? And that meant something. Now the Rose Bowl and all the other bowls, they're just part of the college football playoff, like scenario,
exactly,
right?
And that's my point. Like in the BCS, you had your national championship, but also the Rose Bowl was its own national championship as well. Usually the Pac-12, the West Coast teams. You get Penn State in there every now and then, but
hold on, it was Pac-12 Big Ten for virtually its entire history, unless one of those teams happened to be in the national title game or whatever. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. But the Rose Bowl meant something, but now the Rose Bowl is part of the college football playoff. Now that all these bowl games are in the college football playoff, these other bowl games, they don't mean jack shit anymore.
That's exactly the same as how it was. It would be the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day bowls, and then it would be the national championship game. It's the same thing. It's just all part of a playoff now. All these, trust me, my Cougs are in the Idaho Potato Bowl
to get to the national championship.
No one's watching it, and I'm excited.
Yeah, but
it's not like the winner of the Rose Bowl or the Orange Bowl or the Sugar Bowl was going on to finish off in the national championship.
Right, but what I'm saying for Notre Dame,
you're
talking about a fucking Peach Bowl appearance for Notre Dame, right? Or not even
the
Peach
fucking
Bowl,
Hawaii Bowl.
Yes, the Chick-fil-A Bowl or some shit. We're not talking about one of the 4 major bowl games that that we're talking about. We're talking about every other bowl that's ever existed. That's where Notre Dame would end up in this scenario. So it being meaningless and them skipping out, it's no less meaningless than it ever has been. To come down to the end of the season. But yeah, I know what you mean though about these premier bowls that used to be that was your end all be all, that was your last game of the season.
That was your end all be all.
Moving on,
and that was where the juniors and seniors. That was your last ditch effort to make your case for the NFL as far as your recruiting status went before the combine. But now these big time bowls, the Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, fucking Rose Bowl back in the BCS where that was your last game. Now they're all part of the college football playoff.
Yeah. But this is what Notre Dame's doing, right? To all those seniors that, of course, they were going to play in a bowl game somewhere, some kind of bowl game. They were going to have one last time. They don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
And bowl games are also important for the coaching staff because you can still get some understanding because maybe some guys are going to sit, maybe some guys who aren't going to play in it because they're going to go in the draft and you can get a look at your younger players who you're going to have next year. It is important.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame's not going to do it.
So, not even that. It's also important they get 3 extra weeks of practice. So you get that practice time that now you can't have. That you're not allowed to have unless you're in a bowl game. So they're kind of hurting themselves with this. Also, can we talk about Notre Dame's AD as well? This is such a bad look for Notre Dame. And Notre Dame's AD came out, and I'm like, why is Notre Dame's AD coming out blaming the ACC? And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I just read through the article, and he's blaming the ACC because they were championing Miami. It's like, hey, they're supposed to champion Miami. Not only did they beat you head to head, but 2, that's their team. Yeah, they're partners with you, but that's like me saying, hey, Ryan, I'm going to do something that's better for my family than yours. I'm sorry you're a friend of mine, but I got to look out my family first. That's kind of what it is. And that's what they were doing. They weren't bashing Notre Dame, but they're like, hey, there's one spot left. It's between you or me. We beat you, and we have the better argument. Of course they're not going to prop up Notre Dame. The AD, I don't get what he's doing here.
This is Notre Dame. They think they're more important than they are. They fucking bitch and whine and moan while they schedule 3 military schools a fucking year and play basically nobody and lose to the only challenging games on their season and hope they get special treatment. And you know what? It fucking usually works for them. These fucking pussies. Because you know what? Next year, it's written in to the fucking bylaws that if Notre Dame finishes in the top 12 next year, starting next year in the college football playoff, that it doesn't matter. None of it fucking matters. They will get in, period. Just like they had the right in for the fucking BCS era and all this bullshit. They get this special treatment. And I will say, look, Notre Dame was in the championship game last year. They went through the fucking gauntlet in the college football playoff and they made it to the fucking title game. Didn't work out very well, but they did make it to the title game. But this year, you didn't fucking deserve to be there, bottom line. And now you can't handle it and you're acting like little fucking pussies just like you always do. Fuck Notre Dame forever.
And why do we keep giving them the benefit of the doubt? Because, yeah, they made the title game last year, but every single time they play the top Big Ten team or the top SEC team, what happens in that national title game? It's not even close. Not even close.
Blown the fuck
so
out.
They act like they have a chance this year to win the national title. You would have been the 9 seed. You would have played Oklahoma. Probably would. I would pick Oklahoma on that one, as bad as Oklahoma's looked. But even then, you'd got to go up against Indiana the next week. It's like you're not making a title run this year.